How's my favorite class today? Today, boys and girls, we're going to talk about strain theory in sociology. Strain theory is the theory that the more stress or strain society puts on an individual, the more likely that individual is to act in a criminal manner. The concept was first brought up or discussed or noticed or written about by Marcus Aurelius, who the sheet of paper I showed you at the start of the lesson. Marcus Aurelius was a great emperor and philosopher in ancient Rome, and he is often quoted as saying, "Poverty is the mother of all crime." Durkheim, that we learned about earlier in the semester, Durkheim built a little on that concept. So did a guy named Mertens in the late 1930s, and then around the early 1990s, a guy named Agnew. He built upon the concept and did some research in the area and formed, to help form or solidify the theory of strain theory. The theory that the more strain society puts on an individual, the more the individual gravitates towards crime to step away from that strain. Now, on the outside, it sounds like, from the outside looking in, it sounds like a very viable concept. It sounds like you can see how it is possible that someone who has very little would want to steal or commit a criminal act to get more. However, the more research I do in that area, the more I find there's very little empirical evidence to actually back up strain theory. You often hear strain theory quoted, you often hear poverty quoted as a cause of many ills in society. You hear definitely from left-leaning politicians that poverty is an issue and it is the source of much of crime, and perhaps there is truth in that. However, the more I look for empirical evidence to support it, the less I can actually find empirical evidence to support that ideology or concept. What I did find, however, was a guy in the later part of the 20th century. His last name was Genie. He was an Italian. He did a lot of research on distribution of wealth, and he came up with a concept or a methodology of measuring inequalities in wealth in societies. It's called the Genie Coefficient. And what he noticed was that it is not poverty or the rate of poverty that causes crime. It is the big discrepancies between individuals in a society in relation to wealth. When you have those who are in sheer poverty and those who are living very, very well in the same society, that's when you get increases in crime. In my research, the best fortification of that concept of the Gini coefficient would be Newfoundland. When the province of Newfoundland was first inducted into Canada as a province, I believe it was the poorest province in Canada. The per capita income in Canada was less than any other province. However, the crime rate was almost negligent. There was very, very little crime in Newfoundland at the time of its inauguration into Canada. So that to me is telling that actually the Gini coefficient is perhaps a better indicator of crime and deviance than would be the strain theory. That's my lesson for today, boys and girls. Have a good day.